Taylor Swift. Not everyone loves you. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Taylor Swift is one of the most successful artists on the planet. She's been around for a number of years and has cultivated a almost cult-like set of fans with a slavish devotion towards her, known as the Swifties. They are swift, pun intended, to denounce anybody that attacks their heroine. Taylor Swift, as I've explained to you in detail previously, is a narcissist and of the greater variety, meaning she knows full well what she is and finds it very entertaining to play with various people. Regularly, she utilizes a modus operandi of her lyrics as a means to get one over on those that she deems have let her down, have been traitorous and treacherous by way of ex-partners. There are many people who enjoy Taylor Swift's music and the whole genre that she has created in relation to the way that she portrays herself. Tickets for the recent Eras tour were trading at ridiculously high levels. She's just launched a new album. And of course, this has resulted in, I believe it, setting a record for the most streamed download in a day. And she has exploited her fans' loyalty with multiple issues of the album with slight variations and bonus tracks, resulting in multiple sales, essentially, of the same item. If the Swifties want to purchase it, it's a matter for them. She inspires frenzied devotion from these individuals, which of course provides her with huge amounts of fuel at her concert. But not everybody loves Taylor Swift, as you're about to hear. Maureen Callahan, writing for the Daily Mail, explains, "Call it the tortured audience response. A global marketplace carpet-bombed by Taylor Swift must now endure another album, another promotional cycle, another round of score settling with ex-lovers, and a level of navel-gazing that makes J-Lo seem modest. Then again, Swift never has had a sense of humour about herself, has she?" Well, in actual fact, I disagree with that observation, because she does have a sense of humour, albeit a perverse kind, which was shown, for instance, with the song Blank Space, which portrayed her as some kind of ridiculous, crazed girlfriend, knowing that that's how she is portrayed by her exes and by the press. And she's saying, I might be that, but I'm the one that's wealthy and I've got millions of adoring fans, so the joke's on you. So she does actually have a sense of humour in that regard. Callahan writes, "So, here we are, weary of the Eras tour and movie, the Taylor and Travis show, Taylor on the cover of Time as 2023's Person of the Year, the re-release of 2 older records last year, Taylor at the 2024 Golden Globes expressing grave displeasure about a joke about her overexposure, and Taylor at the Grammys just months ago, appearing to snub terminally ill legend Celine Dion in a haste to grab her trophy, see parts passing. Swift allowed no breathing room for gratitude that evening, no moment to have her record-breaking achievement sink in, or at least display a little bit of propriety. Nope, just a hasty pitch for her latest project on free network A-time, while feigning complete disbelief that she, little Tay-Tay, had actually won another award. It seems Taylor Swift is most inspired, not by true artists, but titans of commerce. Per the immortal Glengarry Glen Ross, great film and play, watch it, she must always be closing on yet another transaction. "I want to say thank you," Swift told her fans, "by telling you a secret I've been keeping from you for the past 2 years." The use of secrecy is something that's regularly utilised by narcissists, keeping you out by maintaining a secret so you feel on the outside that you're desperate to know, or drawing you in by sharing a secret with you to make you feel special. This latest Grammy, accepted seconds prior, was already in Swift's rear view, My brand new album comes out April the 19th, she continued. It's called The Tortured Poets Department. I'm going to go and post the cover right now on Backstage. Thank you. I love you. Assertion of control through flattery. Surely, writes Callahan, I am not alone in needing a good long break from the Tracy flick of tepid pop. We have reached peak Swift, the cultural water table oversaturated, soaking us with her narcissistic runoff and bilge. So many meanies, so many revenge tracks, so much endless griping and score settling, which of course is all about the assertion of control. Enough! Make it stop. No wonder there's a stubborn conspiracy theory that posits Swift as a CIA psyop who controls everything from the Super Bowl to the 2024 presidential election. She could have been used at Gitmo to break terrorists. Swift is a scourge, responsible for, among other things, the unforgivable trend of friendship bracelets on middle-aged women, charging tween and teenage fans thousands of dollars for tickets, residual benefit, cynically announcing new albums and then suddenly issuing multiple other versions with just one or two added tracks, residual benefits, knowing her friends will pay the price, or as with TTPD, announcing there's actually a double-length edition just hours after its release. In other words, another marketing ploy to bilk fans who thought they'd bought the whole thing already. On Thursday night, Swift first dropped at least 4 different versions of TTPD, starting at $12.99 each. Then, after the clock struck midnight, it's a 2 a.m. surprise, she wrote. Here's the second installment of TTPD, the anthology, 15 extra songs. And now the story isn't mine anymore. It's all yours. False generosity. Signed off with a heart emoji, of course. Total cost for every single version of TTPD as of this writing comes in just shy of $200. And that's to say nothing of the overpriced merch. A hoodie goes for $75 on her official site. Taylor became a billionaire last year, residual benefits, but this gambit, so typical of her, isn't just about money. It's a way of dominating the charts, which of course is asserting control, breaking sales records, asserting control, rigging the system really. It all feels patently unfair, especially for an artist who is extremely limited. Not for nothing did her peers remain unmoved as she collected that record-breaking Grammy this year. Swift has been making music since 2006, but in all that time, she has not grown beyond a few very myopic subjects. Famous ex-boyfriends, almost always terrible, of course, smearing, nullification of threats to control, her own victimization. For such a powerful woman, she's never at fault. Never an architect for her own misery, the natural blame-shifting of a narcissist. And middle school mean girl stuff with Kim K, her head nemesis. More about that later. Swift may be 34 years old, but intellectually, philosophy and emotionally, she's forever stuck at 13. Well, in actual fact, she's stuck at an earlier age as a consequence of the way that her narcissism has formed. Her discography will never improve, only regress. Doesn't tortured poetry say it all? It's an adolescent's idea of deep thoughts. The cover art equally cringe. Taylor in her underwear, writhing, one arm around her breasts and hand above her crotch, as this connotes, finally, romantic and sexual maturity. Same with dropping fuck repeatedly on TTPD. Courtney Love has it right. Taylor Swift is not important, Love told the UK's Evening Standard last week. She might be a safe space for girls, and she's probably the Madonna of now, but she's not interesting as an artist. Ouch. Hallelujah, writes Callahan, the backlash is brewing. While American press remains far too timid, NME gave TTPD 3 out of 5 stars, calling it devoid of any noticeable stylistic shift or evolution, with laughable lyrics about Charlie Puth and a tattooed golden retriever. This from I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I'm so miserable and nobody even knows. That sentiment should surely be the purview of teenage girls. And this is, in effect, what Callahan is missing here, is that Taylor Swift knows her audience. And because she's such a chameleon, she is able, through character trait acquisition, to write from their perspective. That she can get inside the head of that 13-year-old girl which causes that 13-year-old girl to feel that they have a special relationship with Taylor Swift. She cultivates that parasocial relationship, which is part of her skill as a greater. Contrast her, if you will, with this one's wife, a mid-range narcissist. Neither of these women have any emotional empathy, but this one's wife is clunky in her attempts to understand people. She doesn't. Taylor Swift does. She knows her audience. She knows what matters to them, and she knows how to manipulate that through her songwriting. Naturally, the critics will say you write as if you're a 13-year-old girl, which is entirely deliberate because that's the bulk of her audience, and that's where she's making her money. Those are the people that she's controlling. So, of course, Swift has the last laugh. She just shrugs off such criticism. Yes, it'll annoy her, because no narcissist likes to be criticised. But at the end of the day, Taylor Swift, with her billion-dollar fortune, international and worldwide fame, adoring audience, is always going to have the last laugh over a journalist that criticises her for writing from the perspective of a 13-year-old. As she will sit there looking at her Emmys, she will think to herself, say what you like, but ultimately I'm the one who's successful, and I'm not writing about you, you are writing about me. The criticisms that emerge, because not everybody will love Taylor Swift, doesn't actually concern Taylor Swift in the way that it would do somebody like Kim Kardashian or this one's wife. Taylor Swift, as a greater, understands that there will be criticism. It doesn't mean that she likes it. She doesn't. It's still a threat to control. But her threshold on her ignited fury is far higher, so that you're not going to see her lose her shit in the way that less evolved narcissists would. Also, the extent of her reach is so much more substantial, and her level of success is something that she can just point to, enabling her to essentially ignore such criticisms. In her haughty, dismissive way, she can say to herself, they're simply envious of my success. I am a superlative songwriter. I have millions of fans, $1 billion in the bank. I have plenty of awards as a consequence of the records that I have set and the records that I have broken. And the mealy-mouthed journalists that write such comments about me, they are just banging their tiny fists against the edifice that is Taylor Swift. She's irritated by it, but no more. It's not a concern that's going to have her running into her bedroom and throwing herself onto her bed and staring up at a picture of Ryan Gosling next to that of her current boyfriend and saying, oh, Travis, oh, Ryan, why are they so mean to me? Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. No, instead, Taylor Swift will simply issue a smile to herself, laughing at the criticisms that come her way from journalists such as Maureen Callahan, from her detractors, and she simply rests assured on the fact that she is a global superstar, and they are not. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.